5 years ago, I set a goal to change my life. But there was one big problem. I was great at planning but terrible at taking action. Sound familiar? Let's fix that. 5 years ago, I set a goal to completely change my life. I wanted to achieve more, grow more, and make more money. But there was one big problem. I was a pro at making plans and a total amateur at putting them into action. I'd sit down, ready to work, but instead, I'd scroll on my phone, clean my desk, or do anything to avoid starting. Sound familiar? If it does, you're not alone. But here's the thing. Procrastination isn't a laziness problem. It's a discomfort problem. I tried everything, setting smart goals, making detailed to-do lists, even using a tomato-shaped timer. But no matter what, I kept falling into the same trap. I'd plan my day, and when it came time to execute, I'd freeze. Then I came across this quote. Lessons in life will be repeated until they are learned. That hit me hard. Clearly, I was missing something important. After analyzing my failures, I realized the real issue. I was focusing too much on results instead of the process. When you start something new, the effort is high, and the results are almost invisible. That's discouraging. And when something feels bad, what do? We avoid it. For example, when I decided to create my first YouTube video, I thought, how hard could it be? I had to write a script, edit the video, and create a thumbnail. It all sounded straightforward, but the reality was overwhelming. I sat down to write, only to realize I had no idea where to start. So I'd rewrite endlessly, feeling worse with every draft. Eventually, I'd give up and binge-watch Netflix, convincing myself I'd try again tomorrow. This cycle continued because I was too focused on creating a perfect video rather than just making progress. Here's the truth. When you're stuck in procrastination, forget about the results. Your only job is to get moving. This was a game changer for me. I stopped measuring success by how good my work was and started celebrating the fact that I worked at all. Every day, I showed up, even if it was just for 10 minutes. I celebrated it as a win. And something amazing happened. Some days, I'd only work for 10 minutes, but other days, those 10 minutes turned into 2 or 3 hours. I stopped dreading the process because I was no longer pressuring myself to be perfect. That's when I realized consistency beats perfection every single time. Now, let's talk about the importance of starting small. When I first set my goal to work on my video for 2 hours a day, I failed on day 1. The bar was too high, and my brain rebelled. So I went back to basics. I set a ridiculously small goal, just 10 minutes a day. And guess what? I crushed it, day after day. Here's why this works. Small wins create momentum. That momentum builds confidence, and confidence is the fuel you need to keep going. Think about it like leveling up in a game. You don't jump straight to the hardest boss fight. You start at level 1 and work your way up. Procrastination works the same way. Here's something no one tells you about procrastination. It's not one size fits all. Sometimes you procrastinate because you're afraid of failing. Other times, it's because the task feels boring or overwhelming. To break free, you need to figure out what's really holding you back. Whenever I felt stuck, I'd pause and ask myself, what's making this so hard right now? Was I unclear about what to do? Did the task feel too big? Or was I just distracted? Once I understood the root cause, I could apply the right solution. Whether that was breaking the task into smaller steps, learning a new skill, or simply turning off my notifications. Procrastination isn't a life sentence. It's a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. The secret is to focus on progress, not perfection. Take small, consistent steps, and remember, you don't have to feel ready to start. So the next time you're tempted to put something off, set a goal so small it's impossible to fail. Take that first step, and then the next. Because here's the truth. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to get great. Remember, progress is all about taking that first step. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be forward. Every small action builds momentum, and every step you take brings you closer to the person you're striving to become. So take that step today, and then the next one. Because starting small is the key to achieving something big.